I don't wanna call you later. You're tearing my heart up like it's paper, and somehow you turn to a stranger. We used to work, now I'm trying to make sure that we're both on the same page. I don't want it to complicate. I know you're riding away. Is there room for us both on the same wave? Nothing breaks that clearly when there's love on the line. My best friend told me someone that I don't even like. There's nothing left to fix if you don't want me to try. Oh, why would I when you were barely even mine? Oh, why would I should have known from the start that you were a waste of an open bar tab, wiping my feet on the doormat. There's so much of you that I just can't leave. Yeah, nothing breaks so clearly when there's love on the line. My best friend told me someone that I don't even like. There's nothing left to fix if you don't want me to try. Oh, why would I when you were barely even mine? Oh, why would I? You're out there riding away, but is there room on the wave? Don't want a second thought, babe. I'll stay in mine. I'm all the give, you're the take. There ain't no fixing the
온라인 수업 끝나고 이제 퀴즈를 풀어야 뭐지? 온라인 수업에 참여를 했다는 걸 받아서 지금 다 문제를 다 맞춰야만 준대요. 한번 해볼게요.
뒤에 차 불빛이 원래 이렇게 눈이 부신 게 맞나요? 도착했습니다.
I'm outside looking in. The looks are all different. It happened on a whim. And now I'm wondering if I can now begin the life I've been missing. Lost your head. I can't believe another word you've said. Let's just promise not to leave this dead. I can't lie, but I can't help you see. I can't afford your and it's too heavy. The room inside my head is too costly. You take your luggage and I'll take the key. I know you love it, but I disagree.
I've learned that there's an art to changing. That I'm the potter and the clay. I'm the canvas and the painter. The marble that I sculpt away. Every stroke of a brush, every finger's touch is a rosy cheek of a love-struck flush. Is a sunburned wing of a heartbreak crush. Is a rush, feel the rush. You're a painting Frida Kahlo. Lead the muses like a Apollo. All the colors layered on kaleidoscope. You're a sculptor of burning negro like branches did on Daphne. Turn and living into art. Life's the Louvre and you're the Mona Lisa. Masterpieces take a lifetime. And patience is a peerless craft. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. You know who you were a year ago. Oh, paint your portrait as you grow. Every stroke of a brush, every finger's touch is a rosy cheek of a love-struck flush. Is a sunburned wing of a heartbreak crush. Is a rush, feel the rush. You're a painting Frida Kahlo. Lead the muses like a Apollo. All the colors layered on kaleidoscope. You're a sculptor of burning negro like branches did on Daphne. Turn and living into art. Life's the Louvre and you're the Mona Lisa. La la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la la la. I live art, I breathe art. I myself, I am art. Artists will become what they create. I live art, I breathe art. I myself, I am art. Artists will become what they create. You're a painting Frida Kahlo. Lead the muses like Apollo. All the colors layered on kaleidoscope. You're a sculptor of burning negro like branches did on Daphne. Turn and living into art. Life's the Louvre and you're the Mona Lisa. La la la, la la la, la la la. Oh yeah, la la la, la la la. And I come to see you, darling. La la la, la la la, la la la. Mona Lisa, baby. La la la, la la la.
You and me on the East Coast. 23 in my dreams. Is she real though? Summer night, we're dancing real slow. Cherry bliss on your lips, pull me in close. I think I'm falling in love again.
in my head.
Sleepless nights I'm chasing silhouettes, counting sheep, baby, is it morning yet? Lost in your eyes, half the time I get a little bit out of my mind, so I'll keep dreaming.
Sleepless nights I'm chasing silhouettes, counting sheep, baby, is it morning yet? Lost in your eyes, half the time I get a little bit out of my mind, so I'll keep dreaming.
My blue moon, searching every corner of the world for you. I know to find you, darling, you'll be mine and I'll be yours. Finders, keepers, think I'll keep her. One out of a million doesn't sum it up. I trade my gold and silver for a treasure map to find your love. You're the diamond, I'm the rough. Falling sand, I'm sinking in your hourglass. Spending every second trying to pour my heart into your hands. If it's you, I'll take the chance. Think I just found my lucky charm, twist on the right kind of shooting star, down to earth. It's such an irony. Guess that's why she's my blue moon, searching every corner of the world for you. I am low to find you, darling. You're my rainbow, part of gold. Love the thought of growing old. Oh, lucky me, found a four-leaf clover in a field of dreams. Swear I'll never leave her, baby. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Finders, keepers, think I'll keep her. Kiss you on the cheek in the photo booth. Shower you in lavender lace bouquets and red balloons. Yeah, it's all I wanna do. Close to you ain't close enough, feels miles away. It only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Cause no one else could ever make me feel this way. Think I just found my lucky charm, twist on the right kind of shooting star, down to earth. It's such an irony. Guess that's why my blue moon, searching every corner of the world for you. I am low to find you, darling. You're my rainbow, part of gold. Love the thought of growing gold. Oh, lucky me, found a four-leaf clover in a field of dreams. Swear I'll never leave her, baby. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. Finders, keepers, think I'll keep her. If I'm being honest, I didn't mean to fall in love with you, with you, with you, with you. It just kinda happened, don't really know when. Just know that it's with you, with you, with you, with you. That's making me nervous, cause I'm thinking you noticed. Let me know if you change your mind, cause when all we do is talk, it's impossible not to fall a little bit in love. But tell me if I'm wrong, or if I'm the only one. 'Cause I believe